listening to WEEI FM 93.7, your Boston Red Sox flagship station. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Red Sox Baseball on WEEI, your flagship station. This is Robbie Robinson, joining you from Anaheim Stadium in California, where the Red Sox are playing their final of a three-game series. The Red Sox unfortunately lost the first two games, and they're trying to salvage game three. And they're going to send little Louis Tiant, to the mound to try to salvage that series. All right, so as we look into tonight's pitching matchup, it's a good one. It's Nolan Ryan for the California Angels and Louis Tiant for the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. It's the real thing. Brought to you also by McDonald's. You deserve a break today. And by your New England area Dodge dealers, who invite you to test drive a new 76 Dart this weekend. So both teams come in with relatively new managers. Both teams started with different managers. The Angels started with Dick Williams. He was let go, and Norm Sherry brought on just recently. And of course, the Red Sox starting with Darryl Johnson, but he was released, and third base coach Don Zimmer has taken over the team. Both teams are struggling. They're not having the kind of years they expected to have. Well, California probably didn't expect to contend, but certainly the Red Sox, coming off a World Series appearance, would have expected to contend. But the 76 season has not gone the way they wanted, so they figured a change was in order. And so that's where we stand. So we will get to the starting lineups and get to this ball game right after this.
You're cooking up on quality.
Well, there's a good reason, Jeff. Now we've got a new French fry maker. It's called the Potato Computator. And it cooks up perfect fries every time.
Wow, terrific taters, Burger Chef.
Quality, Jeff. That's the difference.
They're delicious.
Yes, and now we grill our buns to serve our sandwiches hotter and tastier.
Golden grilled buns, only the best for our customers, Burger Chef.
Now we've got crispier fries and tastier burgers.
Burger Chef, you're incredible. That's what you get at Burger Chef. That's what you get today.
All right, welcome back to Anaheim Stadium. The umpires are now meeting with both managers at behind home plate, going over the ground rules at Anaheim Stadium. Anaheim Stadium, let's take a look at it. The dimensions here are 333 down each line, 370 to the power alley, so they're gettable, and 404 to dead center field. Umpires. The umpires are brought to you by Gillespie Optical. They remind you to come by and get your exam at Gillespie and don't make a spectacle of yourself. Home plate umpire for today's game is Art France. At first base will be Bill Deegan. Covering second base is Terry Cooney, and at third base is Jerry Newdecker. This is game number 110 on the season for the Red Sox, as they come in 52 and 57. California comes in 50 and 64. So let's go over the starting lineups for both teams while the managers are meeting. For the 52 and 57 Red Sox, managed by Don Zimmer, leading off will be the shortstop, Rick Burleson. Batting second at second base is Denny Doyle. Hitting the third position is center fielder Fred Lynn. Holding down the cleanup spot, old reliable first baseman Carl Yastrzemski. Batting fifth in left field is Jim Rice. Batting sixth, the designated hitter is Cecil Cooper. Batting seventh and behind the plate is Carlton Fisk. Batting eighth in right field is Darrell Evans, or Dwight Evans, rather. And at third base, batting ninth is Butch Hobson. And again on the mound, Louis Tiant comes into tonight's game with a record of 11-10 and a 3.26 earned run average. For the homestanding California Angels, that check in at 50-64 under new manager Norm Sherry. Leading off will be the designated hitter Dave Collins. Batting second will be second baseman Jerry Remy. Batting the third position, left fielder Bruce Bochy. Batting cleanup, slugging first baseman Tony Salita. Hitting fifth will be right fielder Leroy Stanton. Batting sixth will be the center fielder Bobby Jones. Hitting seventh will be the catcher Terry Humphrey. Batting eighth at third base is Ron Jackson. And batting ninth at shortstop is Dave Chalk. So while the umpires are still going over the ground rules, let's look at the scoreboard and get you up to date on what happened in both leagues earlier today. In the National League, they played a game at Wrigley Field, and it was a wild one. Cubs led the game 3-1 going into the eighth, but 3 runs in the eighth and 4 runs in the ninth have Cincinnati prevailing over the Cubs by the score of 8-3. Manny Sarmiento, the winner, he's now 2-0. Bruce Sutter, the loser, now 2-3. Raleigh Eastwick picking up save number 15. Home runs in the game for the Reds. Joe Morgan hit his 21st. Johnny Bench hit his 12th. George Foster connected twice for his 25th and 26th home runs of the season. And for the Cubs, Pete Lecoq did crack his 8th of the season. At Shea Stadium, the San Diego Padres surprised the New York Mets by the score of 3-0. Rick Sawyer pitched a complete game shutout, 8-hitter, scattering those 8 hits and besting Tom Seaver. Sawyer improved to 3-0 on the season. Seaver drops to 9-8. There were no home runs in that game. Over at the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Atlanta Braves shocking the Phillies with a 4-3 victory. LaCourty the win, he's 1-6. Jim Lomborg takes the loss, 12-8. Adrian Devine picks up his 3rd save. Only home run of the game was Willie Montañez of the Braves, and that was his 8th. Switching to the American League, 3 other games besides this one. In Cleveland, it was the Cleveland Indians besting the Texas Rangers 5-4, 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th by the Cleveland Indians. As Dave LaRoche gets the win in relief, he's 1-3. Jeff Turpko takes the loss. He drops to 3-3. Boog Powell, the only home run of the game, his 3rd. At Metropolitan Stadium in Minnesota, it was the Yankees blasting the Minnesota Twins 12-5. Twins committed 5 errors in the game, did not help their cause. Catfish Hunter, the winner, is 13-12. Larry Luber, the loser, he is 3-3. And the only other game on the docket is about ready to start, same as we are, and that is the Milwaukee Brewers up in Oakland, taking on the Oakland A's. That'll be Eduardo Rodriguez for the Brewers and Paul Mitchell for the Oakland A's. There is your scoreboard for August the 12th. All right, we're ready to go as Nolan Ryan has come out and getting his warm-up tosses in. And we'll get this game underway very shortly, as soon as Art France declares it's going to be play ball time. Nolan Ryan comes into the game 9-14 with an ERA of 3.84. He did not do well in his last outing. He really took it on the chin against Oakland. They lost 13-8. He went 6 innings, gave up 9 runs, and 3 of those came via home runs. So he's looking to bounce back against the Sox. But like I said, the Sox are struggling. As a matter of fact, looking at the first 2 games in this series, the Red Sox haven't even made the California Angels go to their bullpen yet. They've had struggles. Let's just put it that way. Back on the 10th, they lost 5-4 as Gary Ross pitched a complete game for the Angels. And then last night's game, Frank Tanana shut him out on a two-hitter, losing 6-0. Rick Wise taking that loss. So the Red Sox looking to get in at least into the California bullpen. They don't want to face Ryan for 9 innings. They want to work that bullpen as much as possible. So, Red Sox Rick Burleson getting ready to step into the box. Nolan Ryan finished his warm-up tosses. The throw's gone down to second, and we are ready for baseball here at Anaheim. And game time temperature is 73 degrees. So good night for baseball. No threat of any kind of precipitation. Rick Burleson will step in, and Nolan Ryan gets the sign from Humphrey, and we are ready to go. Ryan with the first pitch to Rick Burleson. And strike one call, kind of a delayed call by Art France. Had to wait for a second to make sure. It looked like a good pitch, but Art France didn't raise that arm right away. So may have a delay on Art France if he's going to call strikes and balls like that. But it's right down the pipe. Rick Burleson was taking all the way. Wanted to see what Ryan had. So no ball, one strike count. Ryan checks in, delivers. And it's going to be in the dirt, so it's going to be blocked by Humphrey. Little breaking ball that went too far in the dirt, 58-foot curveball. Burleson didn't offer, and we're even at a run apiece. Looking at the first base coaches for the Boston Red Sox is Johnny Pesky, and coaching at third base is Eddie Popowski. 1-1 pitch to Rick Burleson coming up from Nolan Ryan. And that's a bell-tie fastball for a strike. Burleson offered at it, but wasn't close. Probably should have left that one alone, but Ryan can get the high strikes. It looks so tempting up there, but you think you can get to it, and you just can't. So Burleson in protect mode now, 1-2 to start this ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's off the plate, just missed. France did not give him the corner. So we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway here from Anaheim. Beautiful night for baseball on this Thursday night. 2-2 pitch from Ryan. He gets the sign from Humphrey. And it's a ground ball to first base. Salita has it, waves off Ryan, steps on the bag, and we're underway here from Anaheim as that is going to go 3 unassisted in your scorebook. That'll bring up second baseman Denny Doyle. I failed to give Burleson's average. He was hitting .264, 3 homers and 24 runs batted in on the season. Denny Doyle steps in. He's hitting .249, no homers and 19 on the season. See what he can do against Ryan. And that's going to be outside, ball 1. So Doyle with the good eye there, not fishing for that one. Ryan working quickly, getting the sign from Humphrey. And that's ball 2. And now Humphrey seems to be crossed up a little bit. He's going out to meet with Ryan. A quick little meeting just to make sure they got their sign straight. It's 2-0 on Doyle. Ryan has a propensity to walk people, not just the strikeouts, but he does walk quite a few. The 2-0 pitch to Doyle. Tried to hold up, got a piece of it, tipped it, foul for strike 1. So it's 2 ball, 1 strike count now. On Doyle. Ryan, 2-1 pitch, and that's going to miss. No, Doyle went around. They say he went around. They checked with third base umpire, and the third base umpire, Newdecker, says he went. So they're going to ring him up and make it 2-2. I'm sorry, 2-1 instead of 3-0, which is a big ask right there. Big difference between those 2 counts. Doyle not happy with the call. It's 2-2 now. And there's a hard grounder foul down the first baseline. Past Salita, but it did go foul. First base umpire Bill Deegan clearly waving it foul. Count holds at 2-2 on Denny Doyle. Bouncer up the middle. Chalk has it to his left and will throw on to Salita for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Nolan Ryan here in the first. And that'll bring up center fielder Fred Lynn. Lynn checks in tonight's action, hitting .303, 7 homers and 39 runs driven in. Red Sox looking for the first base runner. Lynn trying to make that happen. And he takes the first pitch right down the middle. No balls and a strike. Lynn had no intention of swinging no matter where that pitch was, apparently. Trying to size up Ryan. The 1-strike pitch, and it just missed on the outside, ball 1. Ryan not getting the corner so far from Art France. He's calling a pretty strict strike zone. So he's going to have to be honest with his pitches. And that's over for strike 2. Franz did give it to him that time, but that looked like a much better pitch anyway, and Lynn just let it go by. And now he's got to deal with a 1-ball and 2-strike count. That's tough hitting with 2 strikes in general, but when you have to face Nolan Ryan, it makes it extra tough. Lynn. And that's going to be low for ball 2. Didn't miss by much. It's a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes, but Lynn had the discipline to lay off, and he's rewarded with a 2-2 count. Ryan fires, strike 3 called on the outside on the black, and Franz rang him up, and Lynn was not happy about it. But can't argue with the umpires on balls and strikes, and with 2-strike count, that's pretty tough pitch to take. So Ryan's going to take care of things. Red Sox go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We played a half an inning here in Anaheim. It's the Red Sox nothing, and the Angels coming to bat. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first.
It's got that frosty mug taste. Only A&W's got that frosty mug taste. When the sun gets hot, gotta keep alive. A&W near. When your thirst is high, your throat is dry. There's nothing good as root beer. A&W root beer's got that frosty mug taste. A&W.
Remember that great A&W drive-in root beer in the big frosty mugs? Well, now we've put that same great A&W taste in bottles and cans at your grocery store or A&W drive-in.
Hot days mean cold root beer waiting for you. So quench your thirst, quench your thirst with A&W. A&W root beer's got that frosty mug taste. A&W root beer's got that frosty mug taste. A&W root beer's got that frosty mug taste.
Get the frosty mug taste of A&W root beer at a store near you.
All right, we are back in Anaheim for the bottom of the first. Louis Tiant finishing up his warm-up tosses. Looking at the baselines for the California Angels. First base coach is Vern Hoscheit, and the third base coach is Grover Ressinger. They'll be directing the base runners. Tiant finishing up those warm-up tosses, and it'll be Dave Collins to lead things off, the speedy Dave Collins. Collins from Rapid City, South Dakota. In fact, in the minor leagues, he was dubbed the fastest white man in baseball. On the season, he stole 14 bases, got caught 7 times, and he's hitting .260, 2 homers, 12 driven in. So Tiant and Fisk ready to go as Dave Collins steps in. No score here, bottom of the first in Anaheim. And that pitch is up from Tiant. Couldn't quite find the strike zone. And that's 1-0. Collins, again, a definite threat to steal. You definitely want to keep him off the bases if you are the Red Sox. 1-0 pitch from Tiant is going to be away again. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So Tiant hasn't quite zoned in just yet. Collins will see if he's got the green light. It's ball 3, didn't need a green light. And Tiant is looking at Franz like, where was that pitch? It looked close, but Franz was squeezing him a bit. So 3-0. And Collins may very well be taking all the way. 3-0 pitch, and it wasn't even close. And on 4 pitches, Dave Collins will draw the leadoff walk, and he is going to be a problem at first base, as they will have to hold him closely. And that'll bring up second baseman Jerry Remy. Remy hitting on the season. Remy is hitting .260, same as Collins. No homers, 20 driven in. Remy, from a local boy from Fall River, Massachusetts. And he'll see if he can move the runner over. He's in his second season with California, just a 23-year-old. Collins getting his lead. Tiant from the stretch, and we'll see if they throw over to try to get him. Remy, good hit and run man. And there's the pitch from Tiant, and it's a backdoor slider that gets in for strike 1. Collins made no move to second base, so maybe just studying Tiant's move at the moment. But he's ahead of Remy, no balls and a strike. And there's a pitch down the middle. It's through for a base hit to center field. Collins is rounding second, going for third. Here comes the throw, and the throw from Lynn is going to be cut off at second base. They will hold Remy at first. So runners are at the corners. The way Collins can run, really not much of a chance to get him at third base. So they keep the double play in order by hitting the cutoff man. But the first 2 are on, a walk and a single, and all of a sudden the Angels have something cooking here in the top or the bottom of the first. And Remy's no slouch at the base running either, so you have to keep him handy, keep him close by. Coming up third and stepping to the plate now is the left fielder Bruce Bhakti, hitting .261, a homer, and 36 runs batted in. Tiant from the stretch, infield back for the double play. They'll trade the run to get the out, to get the 2 outs. It's early on. So Tiant, breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Tiant, the only pitch he really threw over the plate was nailed by Remy up the middle. So he's got to get some movement on that ball. They're not fooling anybody right now. Fisk's trying to put down the sign that he likes, and Tiant shaking it off, and now finally finds the one he likes. It's the 1-0 to Bhakti. That's over for a strike. Bhakti looked like he was taking the entire way. 1 ball, 1 strike count. You're getting very close to a possible hit and run count with Remy, who runs well, and Bhakti controls the bat well. Something for the Red Sox to keep an eye on as well. Bhakti from Pasadena, California. Playing not too far from his hometown. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Bhakti. And that's up ball 2. Just missed a little bit near the letters. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Tiant just doesn't look right today for some reason. Doesn't seem like he's as sharp as he should be. And in his last game, Tiant actually got the win against Milwaukee. He pitched 5 shutout innings at Fenway Park and beat Milwaukee. Jim Willoughby came in and pitched the final 4 for the save, but he is riding a 5-inning scoreless streak. But that was last week. This is now. The 2-1 pitch to Bhakti. Foul back out of play. Bhakti had a good cut, but just missed it. And now the count evens at 2-2. Tiant could really use a strikeout here and keep the runners where they are, because some of the bigger hitters are coming up. 2 ball, 2 strike count to Bhakti. Remy has made no motion to leave first base as of yet. Tiant snap throw to first, but Remy gets back. Didn't have that big of a lead, but Tiant wants to make sure it doesn't get any bigger. 2 ball, 2 strike count to Bhakti. Line to left field, slicing down the line on the dead run. Rice reaches out and makes the grab. But, of course, he's going to have no chance to get Dave Collins. That is a sacrifice fly for Bruce Bhakti, but Rice potentially saved a double. He made a nice running catch almost in foul territory. And the Red Sox get the out, but the Angels take the lead 1-0. But it could have been a lot worse. Remy stays at first, 1 out, and here comes the slugging Tony Salita. Salita came over from Kansas City July 14th off waivers. He only hit .235 while with the Royals. Since joining the Angels, he's hitting .373, and for the season overall, he's hitting .304, 4 homers, and 20 runs batted in. So Tiant looking into pitch to Salita. The delivery is upstairs, ball 1. Boy, Tiant just can't get ahead. He seems to be behind all the hitters. Just not sharp. They'd love a double play to get out of this mess. But he's behind a slugging Salita 1-0. That's a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Salita was taken all the way. And Tiant got the call. 1 ball, 1 strike to Salita. Salita, the firstborn Samoan player in the major leagues. And the 1-1 pitch to Salita. Ground ball at the middle. Door ranges behind the bag. He's up with it. Flips to Burleson to 1. Over to first for 2. But not in time. They only get the force play. Salita doesn't run all that well, but he hustled down the line and was able to thwart that double play. So counted 4-6 on the scorecard. Fielder's choice, 2 outs. Salita now at first, really no threat to run. And that will bring up the cleanup man, Leroy Stanton. And actually the number 5 hitter, Leroy Stanton. He's struggling this year, hitting .204, 2 homers, and 22 runs driven in. Tiant still from the stretch, even though Salita doesn't run well. And that's a breaking ball, over for a strike. Tiant, first time tonight, he's gotten ahead of the batter. Maybe a good sign of things to come. Tiant gets a sign from Fisk, and it's a base hit to left field. Salita will stop at second base as Rice gets it in, but first and second, that's the second hit of the inning for the Angels. And they have a 2-out threat working. And that's going to bring up center fielder Bobby Jones. Jones a little bit on the struggling side this year, hitting just .200, 4 homers and 11 runs driven in. Left-handed swinger. First and second and 2 down. Tiant trying to get out of the inning with minimal damage. It's just 1-0 right now, but anything can happen. Bobby Jones, hailing from Eldon, Maryland. He was acquired on waivers from Texas on May the 17th. Here's the pitch from Tiant. It's a big hop to third, hops into his left, and he throws over to first to Yastrzemski to retire the side. So that's going to do it for the Angels, as they got Jones to swing at the first pitch. For California, a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And at the end of 1 complete inning here in California, it is California 1 and the Boston Red Sox 0. You're listening to Boston Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
For 200 years, our country has shown great spirit whenever Americans have felt that things could be changed for the better. Now, my friends at Red Owl stores are good examples of this. They're the price rebels of 76, and they've got a great new money-saving spirit in all their stores. It shows up everywhere. With dedication and a strong desire to please you, the price rebels at Red Owl are finding new ways of saving you money each and every day. In 1776, my friend, the rebels were called the Minutemen. For a while, that kind of spirit got off track, but the price rebels are bringing it back. Just like the Redcoats inflation came, everybody said it's too tough to tame. Red Owl folks don't think that's right. They're rebels, and they've just begun to fight. If you want to stretch the money you make, then shop with the price rebels of 76 at your Red Owl stores. This is Jim Compton for Red Owl.
All right, we're back in Anaheim for the top of the second inning, and Carl Yastrzemski, the veteran, will step in the box against Nolan Ryan. Actually, two veterans. Yastrzemski on the replay or on the season is hitting .255, 16 homers and 70 driven in. So he's had a solid year. Went from left field to first base since Jim Rice has taken over that position. So Yastrzemski ready for the first pitch, and he takes low for ball one. We're at the time of the evening where it's a little bit tough to hit. The lights haven't taken effect, and you still got that sunset coming in that's causing a little bit of a sun glare that makes it tough for the hitters. Yastrzemski waits on the 1-0 pitch, and it's around the knees, but it's going to be called ball two. Art France not giving the strike zone to either pitcher right now. He's calling it tight. And both pitchers are just going to have to adjust to his strike zone. A ball and a strike to Yastrzemski to start the second. Now it's 2-1, as Yastrzemski didn't like that call. Now they got both the pitcher and the batter maybe mumbling something at France. 2 balls and 1 strike. Neither pitcher happy, neither batter happy, and I don't know if either manager is happy right now, but we got 8 more innings of this, so you better get used to Art France's strike zone. Swing and a miss by Yastrzemski. He was going for the downs on that one, and he came up empty, got nothing but air. And the count is going to even at 2-2. 2-2 pitch from Yastrzemski, outside, ball 3. I'm sorry, it was not. He got rung up by France. Oh, boy. France is not going to make any fan clubs of either of these ball clubs, as he rang up Carl Yastrzemski, and Yastrzemski doesn't usually show a lot of emotion, but certainly did right there. He was not happy with that call, but it will be a strikeout for Nolan Ryan. And they'll bring up slugging Jim Rice, left fielder. Rice on the season hitting .273, 16 homers and 55 runs driven in. The pitch to Rice, it's a ground ball behind third. And Jackson got it, throws to first, and that's quickly 2 away. So Rice didn't waste any time jumping on the first pitch, but hit it hard, but right at him. It was an atom ball right at third base from Ron Jackson. Quickly 2 away, and here comes Cecil Cooper. We'll see if he takes a couple of pitches just to give Tiant some rest. That was a pretty quick first 2 outs, so we'll see what he does here. Cooper on the season is hitting .277, 10 homers, and 49 runs batted in. Ryan's first pitch is just high, ball 1. So Cooper swinging that bat in his crouch, waiting on the 1-0 pitch from Ryan. And that's a fastball right in there, strike 1. He was taking all the way. A ball and a strike is even the count for Cecil Cooper. 2 outs, top of the second, 1-0 California, in case you're just joining us. And the 1-1 pitch from Ryan, swing at it, ripped to right center, and Cooper will be on with a 2-out single. That's the first base hit of the game for the Red Sox. Cooper is aboard. And Cooper has stolen 4 bases, got caught 3 times, so I don't know if he's going to be running or not, but it's the first time that Nolan Ryan will be working from the stretch. See if that changes the way he pitches. Carlton Fisk will be stepping to the plate. He's had a bad year. He's really off year, hitting .238. Does have 10 homers and 33 runs batted in, but he'll tell you himself he's just not nearly the hitter he was last year. Pitch from Ryan is going to be away for ball 1. Fisk looking to finish up 76 strong and head into 77. Neither one of these teams are anywhere near playoff contention. In fact, the Red Sox are 13.5 back of the Yankees, and the Angels are 19 back of Kansas City. So they're just building for next year, trying to get some confidence and maybe bring up some youngsters in September. And we'll see what they do. But Fisk looking to finish strong. 1-0 pitch, belted on a line, and that's up against the wall. It's gone. It is gone deep to left field. Bruce Bhakti was at the track. I thought he had a chance, but it went over his head. He tried to jump, and it was just out of his reach. And Carlton Fisk goes yard. Home run Carlton Fisk. That's his 11th home run of the season. RBI's 34 and 35, and just like that, the Red Sox have the lead 2-1, and that's the kind of swing Fisk can take into 77 as he looks forward to a better season next year, hopefully. But the Red Sox have the lead 2-1. Nolan Ryan not happy about where he put that pitch. He knew he grooved it, and he paid the price for it. And now here comes Dwight Evans, right fielder. That's over for strike one. Evans hitting .249, 10 homers and 38 runs batted in on the season. Took a strike from Ryan. Now he's waiting for the next one. It's down outside, ball one. That was almost in the left-hander batter box. Wasn't even close. Evans had no thought of offering at it. But the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One and one. Ryan looking for the sign. It's outside. Ball two. 2 balls and a strike to Evans. On deck is Butch Hobson. 2-1 to Evans. That's over for strike 2 on the outside edge. Humphrey was parked out there, and Ryan hit the glove, and France rang him up, even though it might have been a few inches off the plate. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Evans. But many times if the catcher sets there and the pitcher hits the target, the umpire will give him a benefit of the doubt. Evans wasn't happy about it, but it doesn't matter. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan, that's hit to right center field. Stanton will take off for it, and he makes the catch in right center field, and that will end the inning. But it's a productive inning for the Red Sox. 2 runs on 2 hits, the 2-run home run from Carlton Fisk. And at the end of 1.5 innings of play here in Anaheim, it is now the Red Sox 2 and the Angels 1. We'll be right back on the Red Sox Radio Network.
Big sleepy head, you got a big day brewing. Get a cup of coffee and get on your way. A hot cup of coffee makes you feel so fine. It's at 7-Eleven, close all of the time. An apple hot cacao coffee. You gotta get going today. Wake up and have an old bank heaven day.
The early morning sun is just beginning to show itself. There's a bit of chill in the air. There's still a few cobwebs left in your head. You'd like a cup of coffee, but you don't have the time to go somewhere and sit. Did you know 7-Eleven's got fresh hot-to-go coffee? Go on in and grab a cup to take along with you. Coffee from the fresh hot pot at participating 7-Eleven stores.
Wake up and have an old bank heaven day.
All right, back in Anaheim for the bottom of the second. Louis Tiant now given a 2-1 lead to Protect. Stepping up for the Angels will be the catcher, Terry Humphrey, hitting .314, a homer, and 9 runs driven in. Tiant looking to be a little sharper this inning, but his pitch is in the dirt. Humphrey offered at it but did not go around, says first base umpire Bill Deegan, and it will be a 1-ball, no-strike count. Fisk asked down there at first base, but Deegan said he did not go. So the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Humphrey. Humphrey from Chickasaw, Oklahoma. He was acquired June 6th from Houston for Ed Herman as they kind of traded catchers. As Herman went to the Astros and Humphrey came over here. 1 ball, no strike count. Fouled back, and that's the count of even now 1-1 on Terry Humphrey. Checking the other game today or tonight, Oakland and Milwaukee. They're scoreless in the second inning. Out in Oakland, again, it's Eduardo Rodriguez against Paul Mitchell in that one. 1-1 to Humphrey. And that's going to be upstairs, ball 2. Tiant still not quite sharp as he would like. Facing the bottom of the order, though, he might get away with it. Humphrey, and then on deck after Humphrey will be Ron Jackson. It'll be Humphrey, Jackson, and Chalk here in the bottom of the second for the California Angels. That's strike 2. Humphrey swung and missed. Tiant took a little bit off of that one, and Humphrey in front. Evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the second, 2-1 Red Sox. Tiant into the windup and the pitch. It's a backdoor breaking ball, and Humphrey caught looking. He is out of there. Tiant picking up his first strikeout of the ball game as he rings up Humphrey. He got caught looking. Nice backdoor breaking ball by Tiant, and he rung him up. So that'll bring up Ron Jackson, third baseman. He's hitting .228 with 5 homers and 31 runs batted in. Tiant, maybe a little confidence after that pitch, but he misses just outside to Jackson. 1 ball and no strikes. Jackson's from Birmingham, Alabama. He made his debut on September 12th, 1975, so he's been in the big leagues less than a year. 1-0 to Jackson. That's a breaking ball that Jackson swatted at, but just was only able to foul it off. 1 ball, 1 strike count. A very weak swing and timid swing by Jackson. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And now he fouls off the next pitch off his foot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now he's kind of hobbling around a bit. Waving off the trainer, says he's okay, but Art France is going to sweep off the plate to give him a little bit of time to recover anyway. But Tiant ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And it's going to be off the plate, 2-2. It looked close, but France did not give it to him. So it's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ron Jackson. Jackson the Angels are hoping he's a third baseman of the future. 2-2 pitch, and it's back this way. Look out. Almost up in the press box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson hanging tough. Making Tiant work. And that one's inside from Tiant. It's going to be a 3 ball and 2 strike count. Count goes full on Ron Jackson. Not sure what Tiant and Fisk are going to cook up for a 3-2 pitch. 3-2 pitch from Tiant, and that's going to be outside, ball 4. So Ron Jackson will be issued the walk. And for Tiant, that is his second walk. Again, he just doesn't seem to have command of his pitches right now. Jackson not really a threat to run, but Tiant will be out of the stretch. Number 9 man Dave Chalk stepping to the plate. He's hitting .218, no homers, and 23 runs driven in. Tiant from the stretch to Chalk. Looking over at Jackson, and pitches outside, ball 1. Chalk was an all-star in 74 and 75, but did not make this year's Midsummer Classic. But he looks like a good young player that might be the Angel shortstop for a while. Here's the pitch to Chalk, and Chalk fouls it away. It's even a count at 1-1. Chalk from Del Rio, Texas. The 1-1 pitch grounded up the middle. Burleson has it. Gloves flips to Doyle covering over to first, and Chalk beats it out. So second time in a row they've tried to turn the double play, but the runner was just a little bit too quick for him. They do get the fielder's choice, 6-4, as Burleson flipped to Doyle, but Doyle's pivot was not in time. and Chalk beat it out. So that will bring up Dave Collins. Collins led off the game with a walk, then later scored on a sacrifice fly to make the score 1-0 at the time. Of course, then Fisk hit the 2-run homer, and the Red Sox lead it 2-1. So Tiant looking at Chalk, then throws. Ground ball left side. Hobson with a diving stop. He goes to second with the throw, but not in time. Chalk raced down that first base line, beat the throw, and everybody safe. Collins will be credited with an infield single. So first and second, 2 outs, and Jerry Remy, the batter. So Tiant now looking to work out of this, facing Jerry Remy. Remy, his first time up, singled. Tiant getting the sign from Fisk. That's slowing away, ball 1 with the runner at second. They may need to switch up their signs. Chalk can be looking in there, and so Fisk probably going to their second set of signs. 1-0 pitch to Remy, and that's going to be in the hand at the hands, ball 2, just inside. So Tiant again has not really gotten control of the strike zone. He's done 35 pitches, only 19 of those have been strikes. So he definitely is not himself tonight, but he's trying to pitch through it. That's a mark of a good pitcher. When you don't have your good stuff, you get through it anyway. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's in the dirt, gets away from Fisk, but not far enough for Chalk to go anywhere. But the count now goes to 3-0, and you got the tough Bruce Bhakti on deck. Tiant in danger of loading the bases. Let's see if Remy has a green light on 3-0. Nope, he does not. He's going to take a strike. Tiant just laid one in there, and Remy was not swinging. So it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Remy. And Tiant trying to muster through this second inning. 3-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled down the third baseline, out of play. So the count goes full. The base runners will get a jump now. They'll get an early start. So a base hit, particularly with Collins at first base and his speed, a basic single may score 2 runs. So Tiant has to be careful. Full count offering to Jerry Remy. And it's popped foul down, and it drops into the spectators. Yastrzemski had a look but had no play. So the bases remain loaded, and we'll reset and do it all over again. Full count pitch. Tiant checks in. The payoff pitch to Remy. And it's fouled back again behind the stands, behind the catcher. Straight back toward us, but not quite as high. And the count remains 3-2. The base runner is going to probably be getting tired. All these false starts. 3-ball, 2-strike count. There's a fly ball, but Lynn will make the play in shallow right center, a can of corn. And Tiant gets out of the mess. So for the Red Sox, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We've completed 2 here at Anaheim. Score still remains. Red Sox 2 and the Angels 1.
Pabst has a challenge for you. To taste and compare Pabst Blue Ribbon to any other premium beer.
Everyone's looking to find what's best in the things they do and the music they hear. Take on the challenge of Pabst Blue Ribbon. If you're looking for a quality beer.
Once you taste Pabst, you'll never go back to the beer you were drinking.
Compare our beer with any other. Try and swap and you'll discover this beer tastes will bring it on home to you. With Pabst Blue Ribbon, the quality always comes through.
Blue Ribbon quality means the best tasting beer you can buy.
With Pabst Blue Ribbon, the quality always comes through.
All right, back here for the top of the third. And lead things off will be the number 9 hitter, Butch Hobson, third baseman. Hobson really struggling, hitting a buck 93 on the season. 2 homers and 9 runs driven in. So Ryan trying to regroup from that 2-run homer last inning. Sets his sight on Hobson. And here's the pitch. It's high and inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the third baseman, Butch Hobson. Ryan, again high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Hobson. Ryan getting the sign from Humphrey. And that's popped up down the third baseline. Jackson giving chase, but it's going to be behind the Red Sox dugout. That'll go in the seats. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Butch Hobson. Ryan breaking ball, just going to be outside, and it goes to 3-1 on the leadoff hitter, Butch Hobson. Ryan has a propensity to put runners on base via the base on balls, has not walked anyone yet. 3 balls, 1 strike pitch. That's low. That'll be the first walk of the game for Ryan, as Hobson will take off to first base. We'll see if Burleson, see how Don Zimmer wants to play it. Is he going to play it for small ball and have Burleson bunt, or is he going to have him swing away, hit and run? There's a lot of options that a manager has in this situation. Hobson at first, Ryan at the stretch, and the pitch to Burleson. And that's going to be low, ball 1. Burleson did not turn around and offer to bunt, so not sure if the bunt is on still or whether they're going to try to fool him. Burleson grounded out to first his first time up. That one's over for a strike. And again, Burleson's got to be careful. He looked back at France and was getting ready to say something, but got to be careful. You can't argue balls and strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Burleson. No sign of a bunt yet. And that's going to be taken for ball 2. Now 2-1, that's a good hit and run count. A lot of managers like to hit and run on the 2-1 count. Still no sign of any bunting. And that's going to be off the plate, ball 3. Ryan has seemed to have lost his control in this inning. And he's in danger of walking the first 2 runners on to start the inning. Burleson most likely will be in take mode here, 3-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch. No, he's going to swing away, and it's dropped down the third base line into left field, and Hobson, with a good view of the ball in front of him, will take third base easily. And the Red Sox have runners at the corners. Ryan was probably thinking about walking Burleson and put a pitch in there just too good to hit. And Burleson didn't miss it. So now runners on the corners for the Sox, as they have something cooking with nobody out, and Denny Doyle the batter. Doyle, a good handler of the baseball bat, so I don't think they would squeeze bunt, but certainly hit and run is a possibility. Not sure the style yet of Don Zimmer. He hasn't been with the Red Sox that long to get a feel for him. But runners are at the corners. The Angels are going to play back for the double play. They need outs. And here comes Denny Doyle. And that's going to be a curveball low and inside from Ryan as he starts behind another Red Sox hitter. Can't live like that in the big leagues. That's dangerous, being behind over and over. No matter how fast you throw, you can't fall behind the batters. Doyle, that's going to be ball 2. He's missed again. Now Humphreys is going to go out and talk to Ryan, maybe settle him down a little bit, get on the same page, give him a breather and give him a chance to reset himself. But it's 2 balls and no strikes to Denny Doyle. We'll see if Humphrey calls something else. The 2-0 pitch, and that's inside. And that's way inside, as a matter of fact, and Doyle had to back out of there. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. That's the third consecutive 3-ball count Ryan has gotten to this inning. So he's really, for whatever reason, he has lost sight of the strike zone. And now the 3-ball count to Doyle is going to be popped up. They gave him the green light. Do you believe that? He pops him up on the infield fly rule. Chalk will make the catch right in behind Ryan. And that's one away, a huge out right there, and a big mistake for Denny Doyle. He's not the guy you usually give a green light to. 3-0, the way Ryan was struggling. Just can't swing at that pitch, but he did anyway. Big out for Ryan now. Fred Lynn has a chance to cash in. Lynn, his first time up, was out on strikes. Imperative you put the ball in play. Swing and a miss by Fred Lynn, and that one just smoked by him. Ryan put a little extra on that one. I don't think Lynn was ready for it. Burleson has had no indication of trying to get a jump at first base. Looks like they're going to let Lynn do his thing. No balls and a strike. That one's upstairs, ball 1. So count even at 1 as Lynn and Ryan battle it out here in the top of the third. 2-1, Red Sox maintain the lead, but they're threatening for more. Runners on the corners and only 1 out. As a breaking ball, and Lynn went around. Third base umpire Jerry Neudecker says he went around. So it's going to make it a 1-ball and 2-strike count, and now Lynn on the defensive has to protect the plate. Might see Burleson take off here with a 2-strike count. Never know. 1-2 pitch, fastball, fought off and fouled back by Lynn. That was a good pitch, and he fouled off a good one. That's what the hitters have to do. They foul off the good pitches and get the one they want. Ryan thought he had him struck out on that one. That one, he does get him, struck him out. He took a whiff on that one. He swung hard and just didn't connect, and all of a sudden Ryan 1 out away from getting out of this mess with no damage done. All of a sudden there's 2 outs now. The infield can relax a little bit, go back to normal. And Carl Yastrzemski is your batter. Yastrzemski struck out his first time up. And now for Ryan, that is strikeout number 3 here in this ball game. Struck out 1 every inning. Here's the pitch to Yastrzemski, and that's over for a strike. So Ryan has seemed to have found that control. I don't know what Humphrey told him in that little meeting, but whatever it was, he has sharpened up, and he is finding the strike zone. 1-strike pitch is just inside. Boy, that was close, but Franz called it a ball. So it's 1 ball and 1-strike count. Burleson still not moving off first base. He seems to be content to let Yastrzemski do his thing. The 1-1 pitch is inside, but they call a strike, and Yastrzemski's not happy about it. Franz has not had a consistent strike zone in this ball game, but that goes for both teams. So yeah, got to adjust. And now on the defensive, he's 1 ball, 2 strike. You got to protect the plate if you're Yastrzemski. Can't go down swinging here. Yastrzemski grounds it to third. Jackson in the hole in front of short. Will throw to first, and that's going to do it for the Red Sox. They miss a golden opportunity. Golden opportunity to pick up some runs. But they fail in their quest. For the Red Sox, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the third here in Anaheim. It's still Boston 2 and California 1.
His name is Rocky. His whole life was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot.
My father, he says to me, you weren't born much of a brain, so you better start using your body so I become a fighter.
Rocky, the most popular film of our time, winner of the Academy Award for Best Picture of the Year, is back. Sylvester Stallone in Rocky, rated PG, parental guidance suggested.
All right, back here for the bottom of the third, and it'll be Bruce Bhakti stepping to the plate to lead things off for California. Bhakti, Salita, and Stanton, your scheduled hitters. Bhakti, sacrifice fly in the first inning in his first time up. And he's going to foul this one back to the screen as he was being aggressive, swing at the first pitch, and he just missed it. So it's no balls and 1 strike to Bruce Bhakti. Left fielder. The strike 1 pitch, and it's going to be called on the outside corner, 0-2, and now Bhakti's not happy with Franz. Franz catching it from both sides, but can't say anything, but he is getting a few glares here and there. But Tiant ahead now, 0-2, in control. Tiant delivers, it's in on the hands and chopped foul right at the plate, so Bhakti stays alive, but he's still behind, no balls and 2 strikes. As Tiant looking to get something going. Here's the pitch to Bhakti. Changeup is just high, ball 1. So couldn't get Bhakti to fish. So he will keep the count at 1 ball, or the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tiant still with a huge advantage. Bhakti has to protect the plate. Tiant with the 1-2 pitch. It's bounced to Doyle. A very easy pedestrian ground ball, 4-3 in your scorebook, and that's out number 1. And Tiant takes care of Bhakti. That'll bring up Tony Salita. Slugging Salita, first baseman. Hitting to a fielder's choice his first time up. Tiant with the pitch, breaking ball, and it's going to be just a bit low. No ball, 1 ball and no strike count to Tony Salita. Discerning eye on that pitch, looked pretty close. Here's the pitch from Tiant to Salita, 1-0 pitch. Swung on and belted down the right field line, or left field line rather. Rice with a long run, he won't get there. It'll be extra bases. Even the slow running Salita will glide in with the double. And Salita really sliced that one down the left field line. Rice had no chance. And it's a 1-out double for Tony Salita. Tying run is now in scoring position with 1 out. And that brings up Leroy Stanton. He singled his first time up. It's going to take a long single to score Salita. He does not run well at all. But Tiant has to deal with Stanton. And that first pitch is going to drop low, ball 1. Looked like an awkward pitch from Tiant. And it didn't really come close at all. Stanton had no offerings at that. 1 ball, no strike count. Tiant deals, and that's going to be over for a strike. Count evens at 1 apiece. Stanton still had no intentions of swinging. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Now you better get ready to swing. 1-1. And that's lined down the first base line over Yastrzemski's head. That will score Salita, and we are tied at 2 apiece. He just swung a little bit late and just sliced it down the right field line. Yastrzemski gave a jump, but it was over his head, and by the time Evans got to it, Evans was able to hold Stanton to a single, a long single, but Salita scores, and we are tied at 2 runs apiece. That's the 5th hit for the California Angels in this ball game. We're tied at 2. Stanton, a pretty decent base runner at first, so can't totally ignore him over there. Tiant has to regroup as he faces Bobby Jones. And that breaking ball is going to drop low, ball 1. Tiant kind of upset at himself at that last pitch. Knew he threw a bad one. And let Stanton take advantage. The 1-0 pitch comes inside to Jones. It's going to drop to 2-0 now. And Tiant has to regroup, not let that single bother him. In fact, now Fisk is going to come out to the mound, try to calm Tiant down just a hair. 2-0 on Bobby Jones. You don't want to lose Jones here. 2-0 pitch. It's going to be fouled back. It's 2-1. So at least into a more favorable count. Terry Humphrey, the catcher, is on deck for the Angels. Jones, his first time up, grounded to Hobson. So for 1. The 2-1 pitch is foul back out of play again. It's 2-2. Now Tiant in an advantage. Trying to get out of this inning. Double play ball would do it. 2-2 pitch to Jones. Up the middle, Doyle goes to his right, flips to Burleson on to first, but again, they cannot turn the double play. Jones beats it out. They get the force play, second to short, but can't quite turn 2. But there are 2 outs now for Terry Humphrey, the catcher. Jones now patrolling first base as the base runner, not really a threat to steal. Humphrey, his first time up, he struck out to start the second inning. So Tiant looking to do the same here in the fourth, or in the third rather. And that's ball 1 as Humphrey offered but held back just in time. Jones no offering to try to steal second. There's a pop-up third base side between the mound and third base. And Hobson will take care of it. And that will end it here from Anaheim here in the top or the bottom of the third. For the Angels. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We played 3, and nothing's been decided. We are tied at 2 apiece.
Hi, folks, I'm Jerry Reed. I'm here to tell you something about this country of ours. You know, it's been awful good to me. One day I was just a country boy picking and singing. And next thing you know, bang, here I am. So when the folks at Coca-Cola asked me to talk about America, I said, honey, this country's been awful good to this boy. And I always did think Coke was the best drink in the world. I thought so when I was a boy picking down the road. And I still think so. Look up America, see what we got. A million blessings for the county. Look for the best drinks and live like the rest. Look for the real thing. It's the real thing. It's the real thing.
All right, back in Anaheim for the top of the fourth. All set at 2-2 in Oakland. They're in the fourth inning in Oakland, and they've got no score. It's a pitching duel. Nothing going on there. Rodriguez and Mitchell shutting them out. Now we start the top of the fourth. It'll be Rice, Cooper, and Fisk due up for the Red Sox. And the first pitch to Rice is taken over for a strike. 0-1. Rice, in his first at bat, grounded out to third baseman Ron Jackson. He's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Whoa, look out. It almost drilled him in the head, but he dropped down just in time. Rice kind of looking out at Ryan, but Ryan tried to establish the inside, and Rice didn't like it. Dusts himself off. A ball and a strike. Rice with a little bit more determined look on his face. Didn't like that way that was pitched. That's inside also, not quite as close. 2 balls and a strike on the leadoff man, Jim Rice. That's also high, ball 3. Now Ryan all of a sudden, control issues which plagued him early in the game seem to be coming back. It's 3 balls and 1 strike on Rice. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and Rice takes strike 2 on the inside corner where count is full. So Rice has to do something here. Got to protect the plate. It's the pitch of decision. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rice. Ryan delivers, and his strike 3 called. Froze him with a curveball, and Rice knew it. Doesn't argue, just walks away. He just knew it. He was looking fastball, and Ryan got him with the curve. And that is strikeout number 4 for Nolan Ryan. And that'll send up Cecil Cooper. Cooper, the designated hitter, got a base hit his first time up. He singled right in front of Fisk before he hit the home run. So Cooper 1 for 1. And he lays off an outside pitch, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the designated hitter, Cecil Cooper. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Count even at a run apiece, or count even at 1 apiece. Ryan getting the sign from Humphrey. And that's going to be strike 2, right at the knees. Cooper didn't like it, but it was in there. And now Ryan ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not where you want to be with Ryan. Strike 3 on the inside edge. He took it, and not sure why he didn't swing at that. That was a pretty good looking pitch, but he was expecting something else apparently. And that is strikeout number 5 for Nolan Ryan. And here comes Pudge Fisk. He homered. 2-run homer his first time up for the 2 Red Sox runs. That first pitch to Fisk is up high, ball 1. Ryan has to be a little careful. Doesn't want to throw that same pitch to Fisk, or he'll do it again. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. It was on the outside. Fisk kind of reached for it and came up empty-handed. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Fisk with 2 outs, and the base is clear. That's going to be high and inside, ball 2. 2-1 count to Fisk. Trying to get something started for the Red Sox here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's going to be upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Perhaps Fisk can draw the walk, and that would get him started. Dwight Evans is on deck. See if he's got the green light. 3 balls and 1 strike pitch. He did have the green light, and he fouls it back. And that's going to make the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan to Fisk, full count pitch. Here it comes. And that's going to be a ball. Ball 4. Fisk initially swung at it, but the umpire says he held up. First base umpire Bill Deegan said he did not go around, so Fisk will draw the base on balls. That's the second walk issued by Nolan Ryan to go with his 5 strikeouts. Fisk at first base, and Dwight Evans your batter. Evans flew to right field his first time up. And now Ryan from the stretch. And it's going to be high ball. No, it's going to be a strike. Oh, boy. No, I take that back. They called it a ball. I thought at first it was a strike, but now Art France says no, ball 1. And now Ryan's not happy. 1 ball, no strike count to Dwight Evans. Now that one's over for a strike, and the count evens at 1 apiece. It doesn't look like Art France can make either team happy right now. Very inconsistent strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fisk off first base, but no threat to run. And that's a high fastball. Evans thought about swinging, but held back just in time. It's 2 balls and 1 strike count on Mr. Evans. Fisk at first, pretty close to the bag. And Evans takes strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got to protect the plate now if you're Dwight. Ryan from the stretch on the 2-2 pitch, and he fouls it back to the screen. Stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisk did not take off yet. Certainly he would go with 3-2. Probably not going to go 2-2 though. That's a liner, but right to Chalk at shortstop to end the inning. Boy, he's hit it around the screws, but right to Chalk. So that's going to do it for the Sox. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on the walk. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We're still tied at 2. You're listening to the Boston Red Sox on the Red Sox Radio Network.
Here's Merle Haggard for the top new Ford pickups.
Hey, pickup loving man, are you in love? Ford got your kind of a real tough truck. It's a strong running, long running, smooth as a song running pickup with a proud Ford brand. Made for the pickup loving man.
You got it, Merle. They don't call Ford's new Super Cab for nothing. It's the roomiest two-door pickup there is. Big enough for an optional back seat. Space for a family of 6. And Ford Super Cab comes from a long, long line of top trucks. RL Poll figures show that 93 out of 100 of all Ford trucks built in the last 12 years are still on the job. See your Ford dealer now.
Pick up with a proud Ford brand. Made for the pickup loving man.
Back to Anaheim in the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Ron Jackson, Dave Chalk, and Dave Collins to face Louis Tiant. 2-2 ball game. Jackson walked his first time up. This one's going to be outside for ball 1. And ball 2 as Tiant worked fast but could not find the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes to Jackson. We have an update in Oakland. Oakland now has taken a 3-0 lead after 5 innings as they lead the Brewers 3-0 after 5 up in Oakland. The only other game going on this evening. 2 ball, no strike count to Jackson. And that's going to be up high, 3-0. Tiant not exactly showing the greatest control right now. He's only walked 2, but he's been wild throughout the game. See if Jackson gets a green light, 3-0. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a walk. He walked him on 4 straight pitches. And for Tiant, that is walk number 3. And we're just starting the 4th inning. So Jackson's aboard. Tiant from the stretch will face Dave Chalk. See if Norm Sherry wants to play small ball or let Chalk swing away. Tiant from the stretch. And that one's in the dirt, ball 1. And now Fisk is going to go out and talk to Tiant. That's 5 ones out of the strike zone right in a row. And Tiant a little bit out of sorts right now, so Fisk trying to calm him down. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 4th. 1 ball, no strike count to Mr. Chalk. And that one's over for a strike. It's fouled back out of play, so at least Tiant found the zone. And Chalk offered to foul it off. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Tiant has thrown 64 pitches at this point. 36 have been strikes. The 1-1 to Chalk. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So whatever Fisk told him seems to have worked. He made whatever adjustment he needed. And now he's back in the strike zone. A ball and 2 strikes. Ahead on Chalk. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. He struck him out. For Tiant, that is strikeout number 2. And Chalk was sent packing to the dugout. That'll flip the order over to Dave Collins. Collins is 1 for 1. Walked in the first to lead the game off and then singled in the second. Jackson still at first, not going anywhere. The stretch from Tiant. And there's a long fly ball to right field heading toward the stands. Evans giving chase, but he won't get to it. It will land foul into the seats. No balls and a strike. Collins, not a whole lot of power, but got that near the warning track. No balls and a strike on Dave Collins. And he's going to take one up high for ball one. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Collins. Tiant trying to wiggle his way through the 4th inning. The 1-1 offering. It's a little chopper right to the mound. Tiant's got to hurry. Throws to first and barely gets Dave Collins for the out. Jackson will take second on the play. Tiant's only play was the first base. He had no chance to get Jackson. He did get Collins. So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for Jerry Remy, second baseman. Remy is 1 for 2. He singled in the first, and he flew out to end the second. But now Jackson in scoring position to go ahead run. And Tiant has to be careful. First pitch to Remy, paints the corner on the outside. No balls and a strike. France gave him the corner that time. You never know what you're going to get with France. It's been inconsistent the entire night. And this time Remy wasn't too happy about it. No balls and a strike to Remy. And that's going to be fouled off back to the on-deck circle where Bruce Bhakti is waiting. No balls and 2 strikes. Tiant 1 out away from getting out of this. Got to find a way to put away Remy. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and it's just low. Almost rang him up, but not quite good enough for Franz to give it to him. Tough pitch to take. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jerry Remy. The pitch from Tiant, and that's up high, 2-2. So now it went from 0-2 to now it's even at 2-2. And Jackson getting a little bit bigger lead off second. He could score on any base hit. With 2 outs, he'll be going with the pitch. 2-2 pitch, and that's in tight. Now we're full, 3-2. So Tiant went from an 0-2 count, and now he's lost Remy down to a full count. And on deck is Bruce Bhakti. 3-2 pitch to Remy. And that's going to be popped up behind first base. Yastrzemski giving chase, but that's going to be in the stands. Count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and Jackson at second. 2-2 tie, bottom of the 4th. Full count pitch. And there's a swing and a drive to left field, but not very deep. Rice in his tracks will make the catch. And the inning is over, so Tiant gets out of it. For the Angels, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We played 4 from Anaheim. Score remains Red Sox 2, Angels 2. We'll be right back on the Red Sox Radio Network.
15 years of manufacturing know-how make Radio Shack a world leader in CB2A radios. Like these realistic bass, walkie-talkie, and mobile transceivers. And Radio Shack also makes the crystals and antennas you'll need. Want to save money? Here's a 6-channel mobile set at $20 off. It's only $59.95 during our sale. The sale-priced Citizens Band 2-way radio for your car. Only at Radio Shack. A Tammany company.
All right, top of the 5th here at Anaheim. Butch Hobson will lead off for the Red Sox. Hobson drew a base on balls his first time up. It'll be Hobson, Burleson, and Doyle as they try to get through against Ryan. First pitch to Hobson. There's a stroked base hit between short and third. Base hit, solid single for Butch Hobson. And that's a good start for the Sox. Again, we'll have to see how the manager wants to play this. Burleson, good good control with the bat, but you never know what kind of strategy Don Zimmer might be going to. Last time they swung away, I don't think it worked, so they might try for the bunt this time. We'll see. Burleson stepping in against Ryan. Ryan from the stretch. That's high ball one. Burleson did not offer at it or turn around or offer any indication of what he was doing. Playing it straight up. 1 ball, no strike count to Burleson with Hobson at first, nobody out top of the 5th. And that's outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. That was pitch number 80 for Nolan Ryan. And we're just here in the top of the 5th. So the Red Sox making him work. Maybe get to that bullpen for a change. We haven't seen the Angel bullpen all series. 2-0 to Burleson. That's bounced to Remy. He backflips to Chalk. Goes to first for the double play. Wow, the Red Sox had a couple chances to turn double plays and couldn't do it. This time, they were able to turn it on Burleson. 4-6-3 double play. 2 quick outs. And just like that, promising inning gets thwarted. Pitcher's best friend, that double play ball. And now with 2 outs and the bases empty, we bring up Denny Doyle. He's grounded to short and popped to short, 0 for 2. And that's in there for strike 1 as Nolan Ryan cooked a fastball right by him. 1 away, or 1 strike rather, 2 outs. 0-1 pitch to Doyle. That's smacked to short, out of the reach of Chalk, and it's going to be a base hit. So for the 3rd time, Doyle went toward the shortstop opposite way, and this time he got through for a base hit. So Denny Doyle is aboard with 2 outs. And boy, now how big does that double play come into factor, because Red Sox could have had something going there. Doyle's at first, 2 outs for Fred Lynn. Doyle could be running here. That's high and inside and kind of backed Lynn off the plate a little bit. Ryan trying to reestablish the inside of the plate. Ball 1. Lynn is 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Looking for redemption here against Ryan. And that strike right past him. 1-1 up in the letters, but Lynn went for it and didn't get it. He got nothing but air. It's 1 ball and 1 strike count. Doyle has had no indication of trying to get a lead of any significance. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back out of play. Lynn now down to 2 strikes. Got to make contact and protect the plate when you got 2 strikes against Ryan. There's the 1-2 pitch. It's a good pitch, but Lynn got a piece of it. Fought off that good pitch, and he will stay alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Doyle dancing off first a little more. Pitch from Ryan. Oh, and it hit him. Hit him right in the bottom of the leg. Lynn not too happy about it, but at least it was low and not high. So Lynn will trot to first base after he dusts himself off. Red Sox now with 2 on and 2 outs. After that double play, trying to get something going, and Carl Yastrzemski, your batter. If you're the Red Sox, he's the guy you want up there. Although in this game he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, he's still, for the season, your best hitter. And he's the veteran. Ryan with the pitch to Yastrzemski is inside ball 1. So now Ryan getting a little wild out there. And again, his pitch count is getting up there. This is pitch number 90 coming up to Yastrzemski, and we're still in the 5th inning. 1-0 pitch to Yastrzemski, and that is going to be fouled back. Count evens at a ball strike apiece. Doyle with decent speed can score almost any single, you would think, with 2 outs. Breaking ball from Ryan as he tried to change up on Yastrzemski, but it misses for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Yaz. And you never know what you're going to get here. You got to figure it's going to be fastball. He doesn't want to go 3 balls, so you got to look fastball, I would think. And that pitch is inside. Yastrzemski somehow got out of the way of that. That was pretty tight. Ryan showing his wildness. And now 3 balls and 1 strike to Yaz. Yaz in the driver's seat. He can look for any pitch he wants. And he took a strike. Wasn't where he wanted it, so he didn't swing at it. And the count goes full now. Now the base runners will get a head start. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th, tied at 2. And Yastrzemski looking to put the Red Sox in the lead. The payoff pitch from Ryan is going to be outside, ball 4, and the bases will now be loaded. Nolan Ryan just walked his 3rd batter. And the bases are loaded for the tough Jim Rice. Ryan now up to 94 pitches. But he's been known to throw quite a few. So bases are loaded, 2 outs. This was all after the double play. And the pitch to Rice is over for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Jim Rice. Rice looking to come through in a clutch situation for the Red Sox. 0-1. Rice tried to hold up, but the Fran says he went around, so it's no balls and 2 strikes. He didn't even ask the first base umpire. He gave the signal right away that Rice had went ahead and committed. So now Ryan ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. He's in control. Rice in defense mode, trying to stay alive. The 0-2 from Ryan is inside, ball 1. Rice still has to drill down and concentrate and wait for this 1-2 pitch, which he does. It's going to be a ball 2. Looked pretty close, but he took it, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Rice. Ryan kind of wanted that pitch, but Franz didn't give it to him. 2 balls and 2-strike pitch is on the way, and it's a 3-ball count now. The count goes full. Full count to Rice, nowhere to put him. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. This will be pitch number 100 for Nolan Ryan on the inning, or on the game. Nowhere to put Rice, 3-2, 2 outs. Bases loaded. 2-2 ball game, top of the 5th. The big payoff pitch, and Rice takes strike 3. Rice didn't offer, and he probably should have. Obviously he should have, because he goes down on strikes, and the Red Sox will leave the bases loaded. For the Sox, no runs, a hit, no errors, and they leave them loaded. Very disappointing top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it will be still the Red Sox 2, the Angels 2, and that's the kind of inning that can give you a big-time headache. And from here, we will step away and come back to Anaheim for the bottom of the 5th.
How does a nasty headache sound to you? Like this? Or like this? Or maybe like this? Well, for a nasty headache, just remember this. Extra strength means Excedrin, because Excedrin is the extra strength pain reliever. Excedrin provides more pain reliever, more total strength than regular aspirin or non-aspirin tablets. That's right. Excedrin provides more pain reliever, more total strength than regular aspirin or non-aspirin tablets. So instead of your head feeling like this, your head can feel relief. For millions of people, extra strength means Excedrin. Now isn't that good to hear? Use only as directed.
All right, we're back in Anaheim, and I'll tell you what, Don Zimmer is experiencing Excedrin headache number 22, the way this is going, leaving the bases loaded with 2 outs and a scoring opportunity, and we're still tied at 2. So Tiant, coming back out, thought he would have a lead. He does not. Doing up for the Angels here in the bottom of the fifth, it'll be Bruce Bochy, Tony Salita, and Leroy Stanton. Bochy in this ball game hit a sacrifice fly in the first and grounded to Doyle in the third. First pitch from Tiant to Bochy is going to be taken low, ball one. Looking over in Oakland, checking the scoreboard, the Brewers did get a run here in the sixth, so they've cut the lead to 3-1 going to the bottom of the sixth in Oakland. The only other game going on right now. Ball and a strike pitch to Bochy is fouled back. It's 1 ball and a strike. 1-1 to Bruce Bochy. Start the bottom of the sixth. Tiant with the 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be inside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bruce Bochy, the left fielder. Left-handed hitter. Not a lot of power, but definitely a good contact hitter. 2-1 pitch from Tiant, cut on and strike 2. Bochy had a good cut, but missed it. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Angels left fielder. 2-2 pitch. There's a drive to center field. Lynn going back just short of the track will make the catch. And there's 1 away. So he hit it well, but hit it to the wrong part of the park, and Lynn was able to run that down. That'll bring up Tony Salita, the first baseman. Salita grounded to a fielder's choice and doubled, 1 for 2. Tiant. First pitch is going to be a curveball over on the outside corner. No balls and a strike because he just caught the outside corner and Franz gave it to him. So he's ahead of Salita. No balls and a strike. The pitch from Tiant is going to be high, ball 1. So we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike apiece. Fisk wanted that one down, but Tiant got it up too high. So they're going to try to calm him down and bring that ball down in the strike zone. 1-1 pitch to Salita. And that's going to be a slider, but it stays outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Salita. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. And that's going to be fouled back out into the seats. So count, it will now even at 2-2. Salita, good cut, but got up under it a bit. Tiant now 1 pitch away from getting the second out. 2-2 to Salita. It's a slow chopper, tough play for Bertelson, but he gets him and throws him out. Salita doesn't run that well, so he had a little bit more time, and he was able to make the play. A strong throw to Yaz at first, and there's 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the fifth. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Leroy Stanton, for the California Angels, right-handed hitter. He's 2 for 2 in the game. Takes strike 1 on the first pitch, inside corner, didn't like it. But Stanton is 2 for 2. He singled twice. With a run batted in, he drove in Salita to tie the game back in the third. That pitch is going to be high, ball 1, so it's a 1-1 count on Stanton. 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the fifth of a 2-2 game. The 1-1 pitch to Stanton, and that's a high fly ball to center field, but not very deep. Lynn will actually come in a bit, make the catch, and that's going to do it for the California Angels here in the bottom of the fifth. The first 1-2-3 inning turned in by Louis Tiant. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the sixth. We are still tied at 2 apiece.
And look at this view.
we're back in Anaheim for the top of the sixth in a 2-2 game, and Cecil Cooper will lead things off for the Red Sox against Nolan Ryan. Ryan has thrown 100 pitches. We'll see how long he can go. First pitch is swing and a miss by Cooper. No balls and one strike. Cooper 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Ryan has struck out 6 and walked 3 in 5 innings. The 0-1 pitch to Cooper. That's hit out to right field, and Stanton backtracks a little bit, makes the catch, and there's quickly one away. Here in the top of the sixth for Carlton Fisk. Fisk hit the 2-run homer in the second inning, and he's also drawn a base on balls. First pitch from Ryan is in tight, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the Boston catcher, Carlton Fisk. 1-0 pitch is a little low, so it's 2-0. Ryan starting to miss the strike zone just a bit. Two balls and no strikes to Fisk. Breaking pitch, it's over for a strike this time, right at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Pudge, Carlton Fisk. Admittedly having an off year, but looking to finish strong and head into 77 in a positive note. 2 balls and a strike from Nolan Ryan. And that's in there for strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisk has to be careful. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan gets 2 strikes. He is going for blood. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off right off the ankle of Fisk. He seems to be okay. Not favoring it any. But he does stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got to protect the plate if you are Fisk. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch from Ryan. And that one's roped right over the head of Jerry Remy at second base. That'll go into right field for a base hit. Fisk now 2 for 2 in the game, as he has given the Red Sox a base runner here in the top of the sixth, and that'll bring up Dwight Evans. Evans is 0 for 2. Ryan from the stretch. And that one's going to be outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Dwight Evans, right fielder. Butch Hobson is on deck. Fisk at first. Will steal a base if you don't pay attention to him, so they're going to have to at least give him a token look over there. Snap throw to first, and Fisk is back, so he did more than that. He went for the pickoff, but Fisk got back easily. Fisk dusts himself off, reestablishes his lead. The 1-0 pitch from Ryan is over for a strike, so count even at 1-1 on Dwight Evans. Top of the sixth, 2-2 here at Anaheim Stadium in California. The pitch, ground ball to short right at chalk. He's going to go to second for 1, over to first, and the twin killing takes care of the Red Sox here in the 6th inning. 6-4-3 if you're scoring at home. For the Red Sox, no runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left thanks to the double play. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We are still tied at 2 apiece.
A great new LP, 20 original hits, original stars. Casey and the Sunshine Band. original hits, original stars. Be sure to get the best from K-Town. LP $5.99, tape $6.99.
All right, back for the bottom of the sixth. It'll be Bobby Jones due up for the Angels, followed by Humphrey and Jackson. Against Tiant, Jones 0 for 2. Tiant starts the sixth with a fastball. Looked pretty good, but they called it Franz calls it a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Looked like a pretty good pitch from here, but didn't get the call. 1 ball, no strikes to Bobby Jones. Just underway here in the bottom of the sixth. That one's in there for a strike, and Tiant kind of looks at Franz, says, "What about that one? You going to call that one a ball?" So 1 ball, 1 strike count. Kind of snapped the throw back from Fisk in his glove in frustration that he finally got a call. 1-1 to center fielder Bobby Jones. And that's going to be outside, ball 2. Not going to make Tiant much happier, but that was clearly outside. Can't argue that one. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Bobby Jones. The pitch. Fouls it back. Bobby Jones couldn't quite square that one up, and he ends up fouling it over the catcher's head into the center field or the outfield bleachers, infield bleachers behind the plate. 2-2 the pitch to Bobby Jones. Swung on and missed, strike 3. He's out of here. And for Tiant, that is strikeout number 3 to go with 3 walks. And that'll bring up Terry Humphrey, the catcher. Humphrey is also 0 for 2. Tiant got him to pop up last time. This one's going to be outside, ball 1. Slider just missed. Humphrey didn't offer it. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Terry Humphrey. The pitch. Ground to the right side. Yastrzemski takes it wide. The bag tosses to Tiant covering. And that's going to be out number 2. So Tiant smartly got off the mound and got over there because Yastrzemski was way too far from the bag to make the play. But Tiant was there right on time. So 3-1 put out for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Ron Jackson, the third baseman. He's walked both times. Tiant has 3 walks he's issued, and 2 of them have gone to Ron Jackson. 2 outs, base is empty. And that's over for strike 1. Jackson looking all the way. Wasn't about to offer at that. Tiant gets ahead, no balls and 1 strike to the Angels' third baseman, Ron Jackson. 2-2 tie, bottom of the 6th. This one he does offer at, but he swings and misses, and now he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Tiant has him where he wants him. Try to put him away and get out of this 6th inning unscathed. See if he can make him fish. The 0-2 pitch. Inside, and he fouls it off, and he broke his bat. So Jackson's going to have to go back and get a new piece of lumber. As he jammed him pretty good with that. So Jackson retrieves a new bat. And we'll get back in with the count still no balls and 2 strikes. Tiant with the pitch. It's a little low. Ball and 2 strikes as Jackson didn't offer. Dave Chalk, the shortstop, is on deck. Should Jackson reach. The 1-2 pitch from Louie. And it's going to be fouled back into the stands. Fisk didn't even try to look for it. He knew it was back there. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Louie over 100 pitches now, so we'll keep an eye on him as well. The 1-2 pitch is inside, ball 2. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty. As Tiant tries to go to 1-2-3 inning once again. 2-2 pitch, a good cut, but it's fouled back again by Jackson. He fought off another good pitch, and he stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes, making Tiant work. Jackson waiting the pitch, and he fouls off another one. He is really battling Mr. Tiant here. Nice battle between Tiant and Jackson. Here's the pitch from Tiant. That's going to be outside, 3-2, so Jackson has worked it full. He's already walked twice. Tiant has to come through and put this ball over the plate. You don't want to walk a guy with 2 outs and the base is empty. You got to make him earn it. The payoff pitch, line down the left field line. It might be extra bases, but it curls foul. Just foul, says third base umpire Jerry Newdecker. Rice had no chance for it. That would have been a double, but it just went foul. A loud strike, and the count remains 3-2 on Ron Jackson. Had a good cut at that one, just a little bit too far ahead. Tiant again with the payoff pitch. And again it's fouled out of play. Jackson is battling Tiant right here. This is mano-a-mano right here. Baseball at its purest form. Man against man. Another payoff pitch, and it's low ball 4. He lost him. Jackson walks for the 3rd time in the game. 4 walks issued by Tiant. 3 of them go to Ron Jackson. And that's a professional at bat. If you ever want to know what a professional at bat is, that was that from Ron Jackson. You just saw it. Battling tough, fouling off many pitches, and eventually drawing the base on balls. So Jackson's at first for shortstop Dave Chalk. He's 0 for 2. And the first pitch from Tiant is up high, ball 1. Tiant probably has to exhale and take a breath after that long at bat. I don't think Jackson's going to be going anywhere. The 1-0 pitch to Chalk is over for strike 1, so the count evens at a ball and a strike apiece. As Tiant keeping an eye on Jackson, but I don't think Jackson's going to go anywhere. The 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be outside. Breaking pitch did not come into the strike zone. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on shortstop Dave Chalk. Jackson still at first, but not much of a lead. Tiant. Ground ball right side pretty hard, but Remy dives and gets it. Gets up off his knees, throws to Yastrzemski, and that's going to do it. So a nice play by by Doyle to take away a potential base hit from Chalk and get the Red Sox out of the inning. So for the Angels, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We played 6 here at Anaheim, and it's still 2-2 between the Red Sox and the Angels. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Red Sox Radio Network.
I'm riding free, your thoughts in time. The place I'm going to makes no difference. I'm feeling good, the road is mine. I'm more wrapped up in the style of experience.
Rolling down the highway. Nothing between you and tomorrow. That's what the Starfire feeling is all about. And now Oldsmobile has a special deal to go with that feeling. Buy a 76 Olds Starfire between now and April 30th, and you can take your choice of an automatic or 5-speed manual transmission at no extra charge. It's a great deal and a great way for you to get into the feeling of the Starfire experience.
I'm more wrapped up in the style of experience.
Remember, you can get either of these transmissions, manufacturer's suggested retail price $244, at no extra charge when you buy a 76 Starfire. See your Olds dealer now.
All right, we're back for the top of the 7th. We check in Oakland, and the Oakland-Milwaukee game is still 3-1, and they're in the 7th inning as well. They've completed 7 innings in Oakland. Oakland still leads at 3-1 over the Brewers. We start the top of the 7th here. And it'll be Butch Hobson leading things off for the Red Sox, followed by Burleson and Remy. Nolan Ryan still in there. So is Tiant. The pitch to the pitch to Hobson is fouled back. No balls and one strike. Hobson against Ryan, walked in the third to lead off the third, single to lead off the fifth. So this is the third time he has led off the inning in this game. 1 for 1. He's going to chase an outside pitch, and now he's down 0-2 in the hole to Nolan Ryan. Ryan has 6 strikeouts on the evening. Hobson in protect mode. No balls and 2 strikes. Curveball from Ryan to fool him, but it missed up high, and it's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hobson did not offer. So he's hanging in there. 1 ball and 2 strike pitch from Ryan. Hobson drives one to left center field. Pretty well hit, but Bhakti out there at the track in left center field makes the catch, and it's just allowed out. So he hit it well, especially with 2 strikes, but was hauled in by Bhakti, and there's 1 away, and Rick Burleson will see if he can get something going for the Red Sox. He's 1 for 3. And that's a check swing, but it's a foul ball to his bat. Tried to get out of the way, but just couldn't quite do it. And there's an 0-1 count on Burleson. No ball, 1 strike pitch. Bloop to short left field off the bat of Burleson, but it's going to hang up enough for Bhakti to get to it, and that's going to be out number 2. He had to cover some ground out there, but he made it. Chalk wasn't going to get there from short, so Bhakti makes the shoestring catch, and there are 2 away. For second baseman Denny Doyle. Doyle is 1 for 3 on the night. That one's going to be inside, ball 1 to Doyle. 1 ball and no strike count to Denny Doyle. Ryan with the delivery. And Doyle grounds it to second base. Remy has it, throws to first. And that's going to do it for the Red Sox here in the top of the 7th. They go rather meekly. 3 up and 3 down. We've hit the 7th inning stretch here in California. Score remains Boston 2, California 2. You're listening to the Red Sox Radio Network.
Don't stop loving Campbell's just because it's summer. They love it 12 months out of the year. So sign them up for the Campbell's Summer Lunch Program. Campbell's Soups. On those not-so-hot summer days, and on any summer day. The warm spot in the heart of a cold summer meal. Campbell's Summer Lunch Program begins where the school lunch program leaves off.
That's what Campbell's soups are. Good.
Bottom of the 7th we go. Tiant still in there, squaring off against Nolan Ryan. Top of the order for the California Angels will be Dave Collins, Jerry Remy, and Bruce Bhakti here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Collins, right down the middle, strike 1. He took all the way. One ball and no strike count to Collins. Lays off a curve. It's going to even at 1-1. Now Tiant's up there for this pitch count as well, 114 pitches. So we'll see if this might be his last inning. Although he can go pretty good ways. We'll see what Zimmer chooses. A ball and a strike, and Tiant puts it in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes ahead of Collins, trying to keep the speedster off the bases, especially in a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 7th. That one's going to miss inside. It's a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Count evens at 2 on Mr. Collins. Collins is 1 for 2 on the night. Ground ball to third. Hobson has it. Low throw to Yastrzemski, but he digs it out. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. Yastrzemski just saved Hobson an error right there. Nice dig by Yastrzemski at first base. He has taken to first base very well since moving from left field. And he's playing the position very, very well. So 1 away, and that brings up Jerry Remy, second baseman. He's 1 for 3. Pitch to Remy, and it's going to be fouled back out of play. No balls and a strike. No activity in either bullpen so far. So they're letting the starters go as long as they can go. The 0-1 pitch. Pops it up. Third base side. Hobson giving chase, but he's going to run out of real estate. As that's into the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. The count on Remy. Bruce Bhakti on deck. The 0-2 pitch from Tiant is going to be upstairs, ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes. Tiant trying to put him away. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Hobson again. This time a much better throw to Yaz, and easy ground out. Yaz didn't have to dig anything. 2 quick outs on 2 ground balls to Hobson. And that'll bring up Bruce Bhakti. Bhakti is 0 for 2, but he does have a sacrifice fly. Swing and a miss, and it fouls it back right off the mask of Fisk. Fisk kind of shaking his head a little bit. Clearing the cobwebs. Art Franz will sweep off the home plate while he does that to give him a chance to regroup. No balls and 1 strike to Bhakti. Fisk says he's ready, gets in a squat, and it's the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be low, ball 1. 1-1 count to Bruce Bhakti. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, tied at 2 here at Anaheim. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed by Bhakti. His count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tiant 1 pitch away from getting out of the 7th inning and bringing his team back up to the plate. Fisk gives the sign, 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and he struck him out to end the inning. Struck him out. That is strikeout number 4 for Louis Tiant. For the Angels, they go out quietly, 1-2-3 in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 8th inning with the score still tied at 2 apiece.
If anybody says you can't beat inflation, tell them to go to Dodge. Waiting at the Dodge Boys now. $200 more in rebates on a new Dart, tradesman van, or light-duty carry van. When you buy or lease any new Dodge Dart from stock or a light-duty van, you'll get $200 cash back from Chrysler Corporation. The Dart gives you low purchase price, high resale value, and great gas mileage. The Tradesman Maxi van is the biggest in the business. All you do is make your best deal at the Dodge Boys on a new Dart or Dodge van. You'll get $200 cash back. But hurry, it's a limited time offer for retail customers only. One to a customer at participating Dodge dealers. So if anybody says you can't beat inflation, just tell them you know where they should go. Tell them to go. Yeah, tell them where they can go. Yeah, you could beat inflation by buying a Dodge. See your local participating Dodge dealer today. Beat inflation. Spend all your dough.
All right, we're back for the 8th inning, and while we were gone, Norm Sherry has decided that 119 pitches for Nolan Ryan is enough, and the Angels have gone to the bullpen. So this pitching change is brought to you by Sears Automotive. That reminds you to change your oil every 3,000 miles to bring extra life to your car or truck. So the new pitcher for the Angels is going to be left-hander Sid Manji. Manji on the season is 4-4 with a 3.68 earned run average and no saves. So Manji is coming on, and he'll be facing a couple of left-handers, Fred Lynn, Carl Yastrzemski, and then the right-hander Rice. Finished the line on Nolan Ryan. He goes 7 innings, gives up 6 hits and 2 runs. They were earned. Walked 3, struck out 6, and he is saddled with a no decision. So we'll see if Don Zimmer counters in the bottom of the 8th by bringing in a relief pitcher of his own in place of Tiant, or whether he sticks with Tiant a little bit longer. So Manji, the left-hander, will give the Red Sox a new look as Fred Lynn steps in. Center fielder, he is 0 for 2. And Manji, the lanky lefty, will fire his first pitch, and it's high and tight, ball 1 to Fred Lynn. Lynn traditionally hits left-handers not quite as well as righties, but he's not totally helpless out there. He can hit them. Prefers the righties, but he can handle the lefties. Manji with the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be up high, ball 2. So Manji maybe not finding his way from the bullpen mound to the pitcher's mound to be fruitful. 2 balls and no strike pitch. Now it's over for a strike. He gets the call there. And Lynn kind of shaking his head thinking that was ball 3. And again, Art France's strike zone is being questioned by both teams. 2-1 to count to Fred Lynn. Manji, and that one's fouled straight back by Lynn. It's going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 8th, tied at 2. Only other game going on right now in Oakland, Milwaukee has come back with 2 runs in the top of the 8th to tie the score at 3, as they now head to the bottom of the 8th here there in Oakland. And that's where the Red Sox will travel next, is Oakland. After tonight's game, they'll go to Oakland for 3 and then finish out the 11-game road trip with 5 games in Chicago, including a doubleheader, before finally coming back to Fenway to face Oakland on the 20th. 2 balls, 2 strikes pitched to Fred Lynn. It's a bouncer up the middle. Remy can't get to it. It's in the center field for a base hit. So there you go. Fred Lynn says, bring on the lefty. I'll still hit him. And it's a leadoff single for Lynn to start off the top of the 8th. And that'll bring up Yastrzemski. Lynn, decent speed. Don't know if he'll try anything. Manji steps off and throws to first, but Lynn is back easily. Not a very good pickoff move by Manji. Seems to give it away pretty quickly. Now he comes to the plate, and Yastrzemski takes it over for strike 1. No balls and a strike on Yastrzemski. Lynn made no indication of leaning towards second base. You got the big guys, Yastrzemski and Rice. You pretty much want to stay where you are and let them do their job. 0-1 to Yaz. Quick throw to first. It's up there pretty high, but Solita was able to snag it and keep it from going to right field. This works in Yaz's favor. Get Manji distracted. Maybe he'll make a mistake pitch. 0-1 pitch. And he's breaking for second. The throw down is in the dirt. Gets past Chalk. But Remy backs it up nicely to prevent the error. But Fred Lynn took off on that 0-1 pitch. It was over for a strike, so Yastrzemski's in the hole 0-2. But give Lynn credit for a stolen base. He's in scoring position with nobody out. But Yastrzemski does have this 0-2 count. Jim Rice, the ominous presence of Jim Rice, is on deck. The 0-2 offering. Chop foul by Yastrzemski. He stays alive, making Manji work. Manji and Humphrey looks like they're going to secondary signs with Lynn at second base. Hanging slider upstairs, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yaz wasn't about to swing at something like that. The 1-2 pitch is not even close, so Yaz didn't offer that either. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count is now even, as Manji was ahead 0-2, and now all of a sudden it's even, bringing Yaz back into play. That one's in the dirt, blocked by Humphrey. Lynn not going anywhere, but the count now runs full, 3-2. Manji was ahead 0-2. He's now lost Yastrzemski down to 3-2. With Lynn at second base in the top of the eighth of a tied ball game, 2-2. 3-2 pitch is foul back. He got a piece of it. Stays alive. And we'll wait the next payoff pitch from Sid Manji. Lynn dancing off second, trying to get Manji's attention. Manji gives him a look, but the 3-2 pitch bounces in the dirt. And that'll put Yastrzemski at first base. Humphrey again blocks it so that nobody could advance. But now Norm Sherry has seen enough of Sid Manji. He is going to the mound. And with the right-hander Jim Rice coming up, they are going to a right-hander of their own out of the bullpen. That's going to be it for Sid Manji. His day is short. Manji didn't get anybody out. He gave up a hit and a walk. And he's responsible for both runners on base. And coming in from the bullpen is number 48, John Verhoeven, a right-hander. He has no one-loss record, a 2.74 earned run average, and 2 saves. And he's in there to try to quell this rally by the Red Sox. So Verhoeven warming up, taking those warm-up pitches. And while he warms up, we'll be right back on the Red Sox Radio Network.
Just in time to save your Easter memories, silk-finished borderless color photo prints are just 14 cents each plus.
Okay, I understand from our studios we had a little bit of technical difficulty. It's a good thing we're back. I understand now that we are back. So we're back for the bottom of the ninth. Don't want to miss this exciting finish here in Anaheim. 5-2 ball game. Boston ahead of California. Scheduled hitters for the Angels will be Dave Chalk leading off, and then followed by Dave Collins and Jerry Remy. We'll see if Norm Sherry opts for a pinch hitter or not. Right now, Chalk is going to stand in there, and he'll take his swings at Jim Willoughby. First pitch is in on the hands. It's chopped foul at the plate. So Willoughby ahead, no balls and 1 strike. 5-2 Sox, bottom of the ninth. Chalk fouls this one back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Willoughby got ahead early. Good idea. Trying to save this one for Louis Tiant. He's ahead of Chalk 0-2. The pitch popped into foul ground. Yastrzemski and Doyle go over for it, but it's in the stands down the right field line, out of play. Chalk remains alive at no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 from Willoughby is going to find its way inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mr. Willoughby, or to Chalk rather, from Willoughby. Leading off the bottom of the ninth, Willoughby protecting a 3-run lead. That pitch is outside 2-2. Carlton Fisk, 2 home runs in the game. A 2-run shot in the second and a 3-run shot in the eighth, and that's all the Red Sox have needed to this point. Willoughby trying to lock it down. 2-2 pitch to Chalk. And that's going to be a foul back out of play. Count holds 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chalk staying alive. Tough out to start the ninth. The 2-2 pitch, it's in the air to shallow right center field. Evans trotting in, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. And the Red Sox 2 outs away from getting the win and avoiding the sweep here in California. It'll be Dave Collins. He's 1 for 3. Stepping in against Willoughby. First pitch from Willoughby is just outside ball 1. And Collins looking to get on base. You got to have base runners. You're down by 3 runs. So there is no solo 3-run homers around. So Collins has to get himself on base. The pitch from Willoughby, 1-0 pitch, popped up. Burleson going out to short center field will make the catch, and it's out number 2. So Willoughby 1 out away from wrapping this thing up for the Red Sox. Last man to get is Jerry Remy, second baseman. He is 1 for 4. Remy wasting no time. Grounds one to the right side. Doyle's got it, throws to first, but it's in the dirt, gets past Yastrzemski, and is going to charge an error to Denny Doyle, and that will keep the game going. He made a nice play, but bad throw, and the ball game is still going on. Yastrzemski unable to dig it up, and that's the first error of the game on either team, and this one belongs to Doyle. With 2 outs in the ninth, will keep the game going. Remy at first. Bhakti now your batter. Bruce Bhakti 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. And now Willoughby has to regroup. Facing Bhakti. The first pitch to Bhakti, grounded past the mound, is taken by Burleson in front of the bag, and he gets him at first base to end the ball game. And the Red Sox win it 5-2 over the California Angels as they hang on and win it 5-2. And we'll be right back with the final totals right after this. You're listening to the Red Sox Radio Network.
Here's big news from Safeway. The experts have lowered prices on thousands of items all over the store. That means you've got thousands more ways to save without cutting corners on quality. But there's even more happening at Safeway. Hundreds and hundreds of top-value Safeway S-brand products with all the quality of nationally advertised brands are now available at low, low prices. So now's the time to head for Safeway and start saving even more in Southern California, except San Diego, Imperial, and San Luis Obispo counties.
All right, we're back here at Anaheim to wrap things up in this one. The Red Sox win it 5-2 over California. 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Boston. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for California. Louis Tiant the winner, and Tiant will improve his record to 12-10. The losing pitcher, Sid Manji, drops to 2-6. And Jim Willoughby picks up the save, and that is his save number 7 on the season. Again, Red Sox 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. They left 8 on base. California 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 10 on base. Home runs in the game. The only home runs were Carlton Fisk. He hit 2 of them. 2-run homer in the second, 3-run homer in the 8th. Fisk now with 12 home runs and 38 runs batted in this one, and he is truly the player of the game. So that's going to do it from Anaheim. The 3-game sweep is averted, and now the Red Sox will head up the coast to take on the Oakland A's, who just finished beating Milwaukee tonight, and they'll start a 3-game series in Oakland. So until then, Red Sox win it, and Don Zimmer and the Red Sox are very happy, especially Carlton Fisk, and especially Louis Tiant, who gets that win. So we say so long from Anaheim, and we'll see you next time in Oakland.